The Game Awards 2025 nominees dropped the other day, and I hadn't got a chance to talk about it. I wanted to give my thoughts, and it's interesting. I swear, every year you hear the same thing. Gamers pretend that they don't care. They're like, oh, I don't care about that shill award show. And then as soon as they drop the nominees, suddenly the timeline turns into WrestleMania. You got people arguing left and right which game's going to win Game of the Year. Why didn't this game get on there? Why is this game snubbed? Why is this game getting praise? Well, this year's lineup for Game of the Year nominees might be the most unpredictable one we've seen yet. And I wanted to talk about it because this year is different. Why is it different? Well, the industry has completely flipped. All right. For the first time, it feels like we got indie studios and AA teams carrying the entire year of gaming while the AAA publishers are barely in the room, guys. They've been slipping left and right all year. AAA's been slop. It's been trash. And again, this Game of the Year lineup is banger after banger. We got Claire Obscure Expedition 33, guys, which was a solid game. A lot of people's Game of the Year candidate. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We also got Death Stranding 2 on the beach. We got Donkey Kong Bonanza for the Switch 2. Hades 2 is in there. Hollow Knight Silk Song is in there. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. All solid. And depending on who you ask, this is either the strongest list in years or the most confusing one. For me, I don't have a problem if any of these games win. I'm going to be honest. Don't have a problem if any of these games win, but let's break it all down, guys. Expedition 33. I played that. It was Game Pass day one. If you haven't played it yet, you have Game Pass. Go and check it out. It's a RPG game made by former Ubisoft employees. It's up for 12 nominations alone at the Game Awards. 12. This game is steamrolling everything. Even people who haven't played it are like, yeah, that's probably going to win Game of the Year. And it rightfully is a Game of the Year contender. In all honesty, though, do I think it's going to win it? No, they can't let that happen. If the Game Awards is led to believe that it's ran and controlled by shill media like Variety and all them that have the voting power, they're not going to let a game that literally breaks all the molds of the Ubisoft narrative and just whatever the industry as a whole has, because the Game Awards isn't that based. Now, this game wasn't as anti-woke as a lot of people led it to believe. There was still a lot of diversity and things in it, which is fine. It just wasn't like something that pandered to shills, pandered to the modern audience like a lot of AAA did. That's why it stood out, and it was solid. It had a good story. It had great voice actors on it. Charlie Cox, fucking Daredevil himself, was a voice actor on it. But yeah, that should be Game of the Year, but I don't think it's going to win it. The next one is Death Stranding 2 on the beach. This is the only true AAA nominee this year. Kojima's cult fans are locked in. The Kojima World Order is locked in, guys. Everyone else is still trying to understand why delivering packages is apparently where it's at. But this is the one that's probably going to win Game of the Year because Jeff Keighley is a Kojima simp. Let's be completely honest. This will be the one that probably wins Game of the Year just because Hideo Kojima's involved and Jeff Keighley is in love with him. The fix will be in if that wins it. I'm willing to bet. And then you know what? Funny enough, this is the only game that I haven't played on this entire list of nominees. So, yeah, they're going to be kissing his ass, and they're probably going to do that. Now, Donkey Kong Bonanza was solid. I think it would be an amazing moment if it did win Game of the Year award. If most of us had a Switch 2 to play it on, I think it would. But a lot of people I know still haven't even had a Switch 2 in their possession. A lot of people I know still haven't played Donkey Kong Bonanza overall because they didn't see a reason to buy that and buy a Switch 2 on top of it and spend, $500 for the console, $70 for the game. So a lot of people just kind of saw it as another Nintendo game. But let's be honest, I don't think Nintendo games win the Game Awards Game of the Year often. They would win Best Family Game or something like that, Best Platformer. But I don't think I've seen one in the last few years that's won an actual Game of the Year award. So I would be surprised if Donkey Kong Bonanza even wins the award. The fact that it's nominated is pretty fucking solid, in my opinion, though. Now, Hades 2, this one shocked me. Hades 1 had nuclear level hype behind it. It was everybody was talking about it. Hades 2 released, and I'm going to be honest, the internet just kind of shrugged at it, and you didn't hear much about it. I don't think I've seen anybody I know personally streaming it. I don't think I've seen anybody personally that I know playing the game, checking it out, sinking their teeth into it. It just kind of launched and kind of just has been quietly just hanging out and chilling. But I am glad that I guess this was a double A indie, somewhere in between there. It's not a huge studio AAA budget game, and it's not a small indie studio, but I'm glad this one's on there. That says a lot about it. Will it win Game of the Year? Likely not. If it does, that's going to be a big upset, in my opinion, because again, it just didn't stick around. I still hear stuff about Expedition 33. I still hear stuff about Death Stranding 2. I hear stuff about Silksong. I hear stuff about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I even hear stuff about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I don't hear anybody talking about Hades 2. So we'll see. I think they're up for some awards too. We're going to talk about the numbers because all these games are up for several nominations. Now, Silksong, they got generational fans here, guys. There was people hyped for a sequel that they were waiting for years for. And when it dropped, when it finally came out, the hype was real. And I think they're going to tune in and lock in for this. Now, it's all depending on the controlling vote for places that are like the media, like Variety and them. I don't see them voting Silksong as the game of the year. Now, I could stand corrected. Sometimes I do let games like an Astrobot and games like that win and they get notoriety. I just don't see it winning it because the other games that are on this list, I feel, had much more variety of gameplay, bigger mechanics. They had a lot more replay value, replayability. Silksong was kind of hard as well. So I don't see Hades or Silksong winning because they're roguelikes and roguelites and stuff like that. But I could be wrong. And then again, what do I know? I'm just a grifter, right? Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance was controversial. There was a lot of controversy behind it. Overall, though, I'm not going to lie. It's a double A solid game. It's good. It's not bad by any means. It has a solid community behind it. I've heard so many people recommend it to me throughout the years. It's not a mainstream juggernaut, but it is respected. And I think if there's any other game besides Death Stranding that could definitely win this Game of the Year award, it would be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 right after that. So, in my opinion, Death Stranding will win it. If not, it's going to be Kingdom Come Deliverance. And not just because of the gay that's in there, but that's straight up like a Game of the Year candidate. But let's talk about the AAA collapse, guys. Look at this list of games that we talked about. There's only one AAA game in that entire Game of the Year category. The rest are indies. The rest are AA. And that's awesome. You got small teams. You got projects that are full of passionate people. This is the year that we've officially stopped pretending that AAA games equal quality because they proved it time and time again that they don't. The gap between budget and creativity has never been wider. This is a game-changing Game Awards show. 10 years ago, people treated indie games like they didn't matter, like they were background noise. Now they're literally the main event at the biggest show in gaming. And if one of these smaller titles, like a Silksong, Expedition 33, even a Donkey Kong Bonanza, I would say, if they win it, that's game changing. I think Expedition 33 has a shot, but it's up again to the shills, to the voting powers that be, to let that happen. Now, the internet's been reacting pretty solid for this. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. They're losing their fucking minds. People are demanding Expedition 33 wins or they riot. And a lot of people are going to be upset if it doesn't win. Now, we got Arc Raiders fans that are furious that it didn't get in over Silksong or Hades 2. I don't know if that's just a recency penalty. Like if a game comes out too close to the end of the year, it doesn't qualify. I'm not sure how that works. Marvel Rivals players feel robbed that the game wasn't even nominated. You got creators arguing with gaming journos on X. it's WrestleMania, like I said, guys. Nothing brings the community together like drama over trophies that we swear we don't care about. People can act all like they don't care about the Game Awards, that they don't take it serious. It matters. Everybody watches this. Everybody cares about this. Now let's look at the nominations counts. I do got my numbers here. Like I said, Expedition 33 has 12 nominations. They're not going out empty handed. They may not win Game of the Year, but they're going to be winning other stuff like voice actor awards, best direction, story, narrative, whatever, music. The numbers this year are insane because on top of that, Death Stranding 2 got 7 nominees. Ghost of Yote, even though they're not a Game of the Year contender, they managed to get 7 nominees. And it's funny that Yote ain't even nominated for a Game of the Year. I was gaslit to believing that that was the best game ever and that it outsold Tsushima and that I'm just a grifter, a 40-year-old virgin incel that just hates games because there's females. Yeah, sure, buddy. Hades 2 got 6 nominees. Silk Song got 5. And Split Fiction, which isn't Game of the Year, apparently got 4 as well. Meanwhile, there's Peak, Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6 that are in the multiplayer category. It's stacked. The multiplayer category is fucking stacked, guys. Peak, I mentioned that, might be the biggest small team versus big industry story of the year. I think they got it. I think Peak is going to get it. Arc Raiders might do it, but I have a feeling that Peak is going to be the little engine that could on here. Now, will this year have controversy? Of course. It's not a Game Awards show without a controversy, whether it's the Bill Clinton kid, Mentaton, or whatever the hell his name is, or somebody doing something stupid. If Expedition 33 wins, I think the majority of people are going to be happy. I think the majority of people are going to be clapping and enjoying it and be glad that it happened. If Death Stranding 2 wins, people are going to be upset. A lot of people will be upset, but they'll be able to move on, right? Again, for me, it's Kojima. It's expected that they're going to kiss his ass a little bit. Silk Song, I think people will be good with. Kingdom Come, I think people will be okay with. Overall, I don't think we really have a situation where people will be melting down, even though I've heard people complaining about Hades 2 for some reason. But the important part to remember is that 2025 was a successful year. It's the year that creativity finally beat budget. Okay, I think we all win here. And then the fact that Game Awards isn't inviting people like Alyssa Mercante to the event, we're winning. We're fucking winning. The small teams have outworked the industry giants, guys. Indies delivered games that AAA publishers can't even dream of anymore. And all it takes is just making games entertaining, making games fun. Games are supposed to be fun. And that tells you where the future of gaming is heading. Anyways, drop your Game of the Year pick in the comments. Let me know which snub made you the most mad, though. Like, is there a snub here? Like Arc Raiders, is that a snub that pisses you off? Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. It's going to be an interesting Game Awards show.